This is episode number 119 of the Unknown Games podcast. Welcome to a wonderful show. We've got a lot of things to talk about. Of course, I mean myself, Adrian, your host, and my co-host, the one who is once dead now. Gosh, I was going to make you really holy for a second. I was once dead, now risen.
Yeah, they were like revived 3 days later, came out of a cave. Yeah.
Yeah,
that's me.
Man.
No, that's me. Yeah, that's me.
Oh, yeah, the one and only. Yo, Alex.
That's a sin though, isn't it? That's
why I was like, oh, I'm going down a dark road.
That's an actual sin though, right? Like I'm not allowed to say that.
I don't think you want to. I don't think I want to either. I mean,
just in case, like just in
case.
Yeah,
just in case. I mean, today's we're talking about legends here. This is all, you know what?
Legend of me. You can read about me in the New Testament.
Gosh, no. Oh, man. All right, we're getting struck down. Everything's happening. Earthquakes. No, I mean, like, honestly, your legend is you were a duck. I'm still a chicken. I have not gone beyond the initial phases of the failure chicken. I never redeemed myself, but you were a game duck, and then you somehow, I forgot why you died, but you did die. And then you got resurrected.
Betrayed by one of my dearest, but yes.
If someone wants to go back and listen to the episodes, there is an actual reason. I remember there is
dying?
Yeah, there was an we reached episode 100.
Yeah, I was gonna kill myself. That's what it was. Yeah, I was gonna kill myself.
Everybody.
Yeah.
There we go. We got to the mystery right there. It's done.
Problem solved, right? Well, thanks for joining us. You can hit us up every week. Yeah.
Yeah, you can hit us up every week on YouTube. We record live at 9 p.m. Japan Standard Time. So if you're on the western side of the world, that's going to be your kind of early morning. Or if you're in Europe, it's going to be your afternoon sometime and around there. And if you're on the eastern side of the world, where it's going to be your nighttime. But definitely go ahead, give us a subscription. No, subscribe to the channel.
Subscribe to YouTube. Right.
Subscribe to the YouTube. That's number one. Subscribe to the YouTube.
And like the videos.
And like the videos. There we go. And then secondly, you can follow us on Twitch as well. We do both stream. I stream at NinjaTrixta every Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Finally got that down. And you can follow my co-host at where?
Yeah, you can follow me at twitch.tv/root24. I stream Tuesdays and Thursdays, 9 p.m. JST. And we stream whatever I feel like it, honestly. I'll just yeah.
It's true, but I mean, it's good. It's like, honestly, he has like super chill streams. I think he's going to be playing the game that we're going to be talking about on stream. I don't know. I think he's going to be playing some Arceus, but it could also be Pressure Watch Simulator. So
honestly, yeah,
it could be FF14. I mean, I don't know. It's a roulette. You roll the dice.
I always try to if you take a look at my channel, because there's always like a about this person, whatever, right? The panels I set up.
Right.
Also my name, the name of the channel, Route 24, for anyone who actually never realized it. It's a route in Pokemon. It's above Cerulean City, above Nugget Bridge, when you go to Bill's house. Mm-hmm. That's Route 24. So that's where my name comes from. So I try to I typically do play a lot of JRPGs, Japanese games, just that's personally what I'm into, but honestly, now it's just whatever I feel like.
It's whatever Hey, that's how it is. I mean, I'm playing Horizon Zero Dawn, but I've been enjoying it. But I was like, you know what, I got to hit up another game real quick, and I started the Somnium Files.
Yeah, Ed had told me about this. Friend of the show, mutual friend. Yeah, we were playing Apex last night. He's like, Trix is playing AI Somnium Files. I'm like, oh, good, that game's awesome. By the way,
I'm enjoying it. The game is awesome.
The sequel comes out June 24th, so you want to finish that game ASAP so you can jump on the sequel right away.
It should be finished in about a month, so hop on into the stream if you want to see the game. Because honestly, I gotta say, I did not want to stop playing. I know it's around 25, 30 hours.
I'll give you my playtime. I played it on Steam. You're also playing on Steam, yeah? You're not playing.
Yeah, I'm playing on Steam.
Yeah, so I clocked in 25 hours.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have it done before Elden Ring, but honestly, all the characters in this game are stupid fun. I love the dialogue. I'm pressing like dialogue choices I know aren't gonna lead to anything, just because like I just want to see what they're gonna say.
What would they say? Yeah. Do you
It's
remember when we
great.
did it was 2 years ago, maybe last year, when we picked our games of 2020?
You did pick that was your game.
AI Somnia Files was my game of the year.
It
Yeah.
was. I can honestly see like why. And Stream is having fun with it too. So that's gonna be, I guess, our like little mini. Hey, go follow us. Go do this, and also follow us on Twitter at UGP_cast.
Yeah.
There we go. Those are all the follows and mentions. I even got a shout out there. But tonight or today, we're gonna be talking about some Pokemon Legends.
Sure.
Arceus.
Quick question
Arceus.
before we get into anything. If you look at the name, how do you? I mean, you just said Arceus. How do you pronounce
It's because
that name?
No, well, remember that one episode where we went on a whole spree
Like,
about
try
how
to figure it out?
Yeah, because the Japanese, remember, was it Odysseus?
Odysseus, correct.
Yeah, but the English people were like Arceus or Arceus.
Okay, so
Arceus,
the English speakers, I've heard, for some reason, I've been hearing Arceus for whatever
Arceus.
reason.
Arceus.
Arceus. I've always been calling it Arceus. That's how I've been pronouncing it. Arceus. Right?
You're right.
Apparently, both are wrong. If you go by the Japanese pronunciation, it would be Arceus.
Because the Pokemon's name is not different in Japanese or English. It's the same for both, correct?
Yeah, correct. So many Pokemon obviously have different names in English, in other languages as well. So for example, like Charmander in English is Charmander. In Japanese, it's Hitokage, which is a pun. Hi meaning fire, Tokage meaning lizard, fire lizard, right? Right. So the names are all different. Zenigame, Squirtle, etc., etc. There are some Pokemon that intentionally, I believe, they keep the names the same to make it easier for fans to like talk about these Pokemon. So Pikachu is Pikachu. And all the legendaries have the same name. Mewtwo is Mewtwo. Every single like region, every single version of Pokemon, and like Joraicha,
I like
Rayquaza, they're all the same names. All the legendaries have the same names, right?
I just want to know who named Rayquaza. Rayquaza is one of my favorite Pokemon only because of the name Rayquaza.
And he looks like a badass like Caesar. He's cool looking. Yeah,
I like Rayquaza and Jirachi. Like those two are my hype little kids.
So Arceus is, I want to say it's probably just Arceus, around the world.
We'll just say it, yeah. But I mean, you're gonna be the one who's gonna be primarily talking. I'm just gonna be asking some questions, and we're just gonna like barrel through it because there's a lot of stuff in the game. There is a lot of new things, but I guess to start off, remind everyone about your Pokemon background, and then how far are you into the game?
Oh man, so I've been playing every gen since they came out. I mean, I don't want to like give my age away, but sure. I mean, like I've been around for all the gens, right?
Right.
So, and with my channel name being Root24, obviously Pokemon is, pretty important to me. And I wouldn't say that I'm like super hardcore. So if you go into the internet, into the bowels of the internet,
into the dark depths.
The depths, yeah. You'll find people who are super hardcore, like they'll complete all the Pokedex, they'll catch all the Pokemon, they'll breed the Pokemon,
the trainers,
like actual like hardcore battlers, and they're like, and shiny hunters, I'm like so casual. I'm like, yeah, I picked the sword that looks the coolest, and then I beat the Elite Four, and I had fun. Right?
And I mean, I have a close friend of mine from college. Shout outs to the Steven Pokedex Swain. That's his nickname. That's the nickname, man. Dude is legit breeding Pokemon. I'll never forget the day I saw him playing like Pokemon on like 4DSs, breeding Pokemon at the same time.
Hardcore,
that was hardcore. But he's
no, I would say I'm definitely like a casual player, but I still enjoy the series. I mean, it's a casual enjoyer. Being in Japan is great too, because I mean, Pokemon is just Pokemon. So I get to go to the Pokemon Center, and I'm like, ooh, this plushie looks good, and I'll buy this. Nice. You know what I mean? But yeah, so that's my background. How far am I into Arceus? I've been playing all weekend. So the game came out on Friday. I took Friday off, and yeah, and I've been playing like pretty much for 3 days straight. And I would say, how many hours was that? I don't know if I have a playtime. Or I could get my Switch, but
yeah, if you got your Switch, there would be the playtime, but that's still
like,
a lot.
What, 20 hours maybe? Yeah, it's probably around 20 hours.
Probably. I mean, you're a good, decent way. That's a good way into the game. It's not.
I think I'm about halfway through the game at this point. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So like your initial impressions, I mean, because here's the thing, from what I've heard, and we were talking about it earlier today, just around the internet, a lot of people are like, hey, the game is actually one of the best. Like, take it for like some of the, the maybe some you don't like the graphics, or maybe there's some technical hiccups happening around there. Maybe it's not fully fleshed out, but it's one of the most, if not the best, Pokemon game in the past, like period. Like it's just
Hmm.
it's a breath of fresh air,
Yeah.
um,
Hmm.
for everything that it is doing.
I gotta say, honestly, I would probably agree with that personally. Like for me, this game, I'm having a lot of fun with it. I haven't had this much fun with a Pokemon game
Hmm.
since Gold and Silver, honestly.
Wow, wow, and
Like it,
that's
yeah,
where I stopped. I mean, I think a lot of people either they stopped at gold and silver somewhere around there, and then they hop back on. For the people from the beginning, from the beginning, right?
yeah. So
They might have
Gen
stopped around there.
2, like Gen 2 is my favorite gen, just because it's that sweet spot. Well, I'd honestly, realistically speaking, it's probably 95% nostalgia. But Gen 2 is my favorite gen because I love the music. I love those Pokemon, like the original 251, right?
Right, right.
And Gen 2 for me was great because it's just a good game. Like you get 16 gym badges because once you beat Johto, you actually travel to Kanto and you get like all those badges as well. So it's a lot of gameplay, and then you go to um, Mount Silver and you fight like the final secret boss of Gold and Silver is Red, like the trainer from Red and Blue, like
Hmm. Hmm.
the old player. Like, that's cool. That's a super cool like um, fight, honestly, right? But
Right, right.
so as a kid, I love Gold and Silver, and I haven't had this much fun with a Pokemon game since then. So like 22 years later, basically.
I mean, so what is it that you find that fun about it?
It's
For me, I see like, okay, we knew it was open world, and we knew you could like throw Pokeballs, which for me felt looked kind of cool because it's like, oh snap, it's more like I feel like moving during the battle and seeing it from different forms is more like the TV show, or like kind of
yeah,
real, like that's kind of cool,
sure, yeah.
But that's all I know.
So it's really different. Like they changed so many things, so many underlying systems are different, like that kind of thing.
Hmm.
So where do I even start? Sure, number one, yeah, sure, it's open world. You're roaming in the field. You're a human player, and you see Pokemon just out there. There's no random battles or anything. It's not like you step in tall grass and it does a screen transition.
Right, right.
Pokemon are just existing in the fields, and you can walk up to a Pokemon and you can chuck like a Pokeball at it. You might capture it, might not, or whatever,
Hmm.
and you're just free to roam basically to explore the whole region.
But the capture method in terms of like you get the Pokemon low, like none of that stuff has changed. Like I guess the fundamental RPG aspect of it, like that's still
No,
the
you
same.
can walk up to a Pokemon and not even engage in a fight and just chuck a
What?
Pokeball at it.
What?
And
What?
yeah,
What?
yeah.
Oh, okay,
It's
that
not a
is
guaranteed
different.
capture. It's not a guaranteed capture.
But okay, so like you still have like it's like the best way, maybe if you want to, for depending on the strength of the ball and all that stuff, still comes
It
into play.
it
But
depends on the It depends on the Pokemon. It depends on the strength of the Pokemon, the strength of the ball, the type of the ball, the type of the Pokemon. There's some Pokemon where you can just walk up to them, chuck a ball in their face, and you're good.
mhm.
There's some Pokemon where you have to sneak up on them and hit them from behind with a ball, and that's the best chance. There's some
Wow.
Pokemon that honestly it's better to just engage them in a fight, and while they're distracted, chuck a ball at them. So
This
it
is
depends on the Pokemon for sure, yeah.
huh. Okay, okay. I was gonna say
And
continue.
yeah, and like what's also different about this is that like you can actually just like I mean you're watching the trailer now. You can actually just get
Mhm.
attacked by Pokemon. Like
Yeah, yeah.
you can be wandering in the field and a Pokemon will just ruin your day. Like they'll just kill you.
So
Like
does that also happen in the battle too? Like the Pokemon can choose to attack you or your Pokemon? That'd
no,
be crazy. That would be
that'd be
crazy.
kind of fun, but
That would be
no.
crazy.
So yeah. So once you trigger, basically it's like an aggro system, right? So
Mhm.
once you pull aggro from a Pokemon and it starts attacking you, the only way to defend yourself is to pull out one of your Pokemon, and then once you do that, it transitions to like the battle screen.
Oh, okay. So you have to actually pull them out too. That I like that. It feels like it's more like I said, not. I mean, I guess it's more realistic in that sense, but it is nice. I like that
Yeah.
you're actually seeing more of the transitions as they happen in
Yeah,
real
so
time.
if you pull aggro from a Pokemon and you're like, I don't have time for you, I don't want it, you can just run away. It's fine. You don't have
Hmm.
to battle him. But if you're getting like effed up, if he's like, I don't know, hitting you a lot, and you are like, oh, none of this, please, you can toss out a Pokeball and then you'll start fighting. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. How are you finding the story? Is
The
that
story's really good. Honestly, it's crazy. It's hard to say, but the story is the more I play, the more interesting it gets. Yeah.
okay?
I don't want
I
to spoil anything,
Yeah,
but
don't definitely don't spoil it for anyone. I think
yeah.
the probably the number one question on everyone's mind is there an Elite Four kind of
No,
system?
absolutely
Like
not. Nope.
there's
Nope.
none.
There's no
Okay,
gym. There's no gym leaders or anything. No.
before the time because this takes place before all of the Pokemon games thus far, correct? Like
Yeah, yeah,
time
yeah,
wise. Okay, okay,
yeah.
okay.
And like, what's really interesting about this game is that there are boss fights, like real boss fights. Like,
What?
you played Zelda Ocarina of Time, right?
R-
To the arena, like door slammed shut, and then am I DC'd? Am I good? Sorry.
Yo, yeah, you're good.
All right, sorry. So like in Zelda, you walk into an arena and you get trapped in an arena, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
And then this monster shows up, and then you see the name of the monster show up,
Okay.
right? And then the fight starts. It's honestly, it's a lot like that.
Jeez, the fact there's actual. This is kind of like what like. I guess yeah, it's blowing my mind just the fact that you're saying that there's a boss
There are
fight.
boss fights, yeah. So you walk into this part. Basically it's in a sealed arena. It's not technically an arena, but it's like for the game play wise, it's an arena, sealed arena.
Right, right.
So you walk in, you're trapped in there. The Pokemon does this appearance, whatever, and then you see its name show up on screen, and then the boss fight starts. And the first phase of all the boss fights is you versus the Pokemons, human versus Pokemon.
What in the world?
Yeah, so you have to like dodge. It'll like charge at you, leap at you, send like shockwaves at you. You have to like dodge them, and you have a throwable item, and you're just hucking shit at the Pokemon. Like it's
It's
Pokemon
like literally
versus
like wearing the Pokemon down, but as a human.
yeah. So it's like Pokemon versus human, right?
What is the
And
logic behind that? Like making it earn your respect or something? What?
yeah, you'll if you play
What?
you should play it, but you should really play this game. But yeah, so it's human versus Pokemon. You're like chucking shit at Pokemon. You're learning its attacks, you're dodging its charges, and you're just chucking shit at it. Once you get its health down to a certain point, or once you stun it, basically, once it's like stunned,
Hmm.
then there'll be a prompt on screen that it's like send out a Pokemon, and then you're like, okay, so you send out one of your Pokemon, and then the boss fight transitions to more of a traditional Pokemon battle.
Okay, okay.
And then once you get the boss's health, this other health bar, down to zero, like once you win the Pokemon battle, the boss fight resumes, and now it's back to human versus Pokemon, and you gotta like resume this other phase of the fight where you're like chucking shit at it as a human.
Yo, that is that yeah, I'm because here's the thing. Like I really wanted to. The closer this game came out to coming out, I've been playing a lot of Pokemon Unite on my Switch, but that's all I've been playing, right?
Yeah,
But at the same time, it definitely has me more interested in Pokemon again.
yeah.
And it was kind of cool because I saw like Decidueye and I was like, oh snap, I know that Pokemon. Like
Mhm.
I really know it a lot more than I did before I started playing Pokemon Unite. But the thing was just like this one seems so different and it's like all of these years, I feel like people have been asking something else of Pokemon, right? We've had our
Yeah.
remakes, we've had our, little bitty increments of changes. And then, when we got Sword and Shield and Let's Go Eevee and, that stuff, we saw some more changes there. But this is like, okay, now you're making it to where we want another game like this.
It's
This
really
is, this
fun.
is,
Yeah,
yeah.
I honestly, I hope. I don't know if this is gonna replace the mainline games. Like, I don't know if Gen 9, like Pokemon uh Star, I don't know, Pokemon Toyota, whatever whatever they call it, like the mainline games.
Right.
I don't know if it's gonna become that. Like, maybe it'll still be the old traditional RPG like we're used to, but I hope that Pokemon Legends is its own series now. So I hope we see Pokemon Legends Mewtwo or Pokemon Legends like whatever, right?
Right, right.
Because this formula, what they've done now it's really refreshing. It's really fun and super addictive. There's other changes they made just to make the game really just fun.
Hmm.
You craft all your items now. You craft your Pokeballs. So you're in the field, you're collecting stuff, and then you have to go and you craft your Pokeballs. And
Wow. Okay.
yeah, I don't know what else is there. There's like you know how in traditional Pokemon games, when your Pokemon levels up, and they learn a move. It's like, oh, your Pokemon wants to learn like Double Team. What do you want to forget in place of Double Team? And you have to, oh, what do I have to get rid of, right?
Right, right.
That doesn't happen. Like your Pokemon just learns a move and it ends up as part of like their move set. So still like you can still you can still only have 4 at a time. Like your Pokemon can only use 4 at a time.
But they still know all of their.
Yeah, but they still know all their moves. So you just go into the menu and you can just change out your Pokemon's move set as if you're changing out like a loadout or something.
That I like that. I mean, it also makes more sense because let's face it, like when your dog grows up a little bit more, I don't think
it doesn't forget.
It doesn't
whatever,
forget like the couple commands you might have taught it or something. It's like
yeah.
So
you'll go, and I'm so guilty of this because I'm like kind of every time I Pokemon level up, I'm like, whatever, fine, level up. Sometimes I don't notice that it says like new move, right? Mm-hmm. So then I go to the menu and I'm like, holy shit, when did you learn these moves? Like 4 extra moves. Like, oh fuck.
when did you get this? What?
Yeah. And that too, also like on the same note, is like when you would level up to the required level in Pokemon, your Pokemon just evolve. It would just like start evolving, right?
Right.
You could cancel. Of course, you can cancel. You could always cancel. You hit the B button, right, to cancel that.
Exactly.
But in this game, it just says like your Pokemon is ready to evolve. Like it doesn't just do it automatically. Like you just evolve it when you realize that it can evolve. It just says like can evolve. Like, oh, okay, and I'll go evolve it now. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So I mean, those are some of the changes, and I'm sure you've got more changes that you could probably list out. If they come to your head, just let me know.
Yep.
And to anyone else who's in the chat, or if anyone is listening to the podcast, traditional, normal way, go ahead and leave some comments anywhere on our Twitter feed or anything about the game, that what you're enjoying about it. But I mean, like, what would you like to see improved? Because the thing I've heard the most probably, and I'm not going to say anything about art direction on this game, because the art direction is actually nice. It's more the graphic fidelity of what's going on, and it feels like when I look at it, it looks like somebody, like this game started out as not a side project, somebody's like little test alpha build, and it never got past the test alpha build stage.
I gotta agree with you. Okay, so I totally agree with you, right? There's a distinction to be made between art direction and like graphic fidelity, right?
Right.
I remember like when the first trailer started hitting the internet, there was a ton of criticism there. It's like, oh, you're making an open world game, it looks like shit. Like, look at this screenshot from Breath of the Wild. Like, look how lush this environment looks. Like, why does Pokemon look so barren? Look at these 2 trees. Like, what's wrong? You know what I mean?
Right.
And I mean, I just want to say, like, I'm sure if they wanted to make exactly that scene from Breath of the Wild, they could have just done it, right?
I mean,
they could have just done it.
Engine, just used it, just straight up,
And they didn't. I mean, if you look at the trailer now, I mean, I'm looking at like 10 seconds behind, but grass looks patchy. Grass looks like here and there or whatever, right?
Right.
I'm okay with that. Like, that's fine, because like in some weird way, it kind of reminds me of the old school Pokemon games where the tiles was just like 4 lines to represent
patches.
Grass. Yeah. Right. So in terms of just like art direction, that's color, that's like the color tones and everything, how the characters look and all that kind of stuff, and how flat the image looks, right?
Right.
That's fine. But when it comes to graphic fidelity, I have to agree with you. It's pretty rough, honestly. I've heard criticism. I'm like, sure, at least it's not that bad, right? It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad, yeah. There are times, and this it was unbelievable. Like, there are times when the camera would zoom up close to an NPC, right? Everything is jaggy. Like, their eyes are jaggy, their hair is jaggy, their clothes is jaggy. It's like they forgot or they don't know how to anti-alias. Like, they don't know how to smooth.
I was watching a stream today, and it was just, let's just put it this way: you don't want to full screen the game.
It looks yes.
I did not want to full screen it.
At times, it looks like the game is actually running at 480p and then just blown up to like 1080p or 4K or whatever resolution your TV is, right?
Right.
It looks really bad. Honestly, it looks really bad. And without any kind of anti-aliasing, it's so much worse. Like it looks terrible. That being said, though, it doesn't take away from the game. It's still a fun game, right?
Right.
But at times it does look
You
pretty
just
bad. Yeah.
you just want a little bit more. But is there anything? I mean, that's the obvious one. A lot of people are going to look at, and of course, like the open world being kind of barren in terms of there's not much to do. Maybe there's not a lot of Pokemon. But is there anything
hmm
else that you that really just stands out to you that maybe people haven't talked about that you think should hopefully be fixed in the next game, or what you'd like to see fixed or added?
Well, it depends on the region. So, I mean, one thing I did notice is that as you go through these areas, there's like no people, man. It's like all Pokemon. It's like all Pokemon, right?
So all your side quests you get from within like
Within
the
like
central
the
hub
hub
area.
town, the
Okay.
hub town, right? I mean, there are a few NPCs in some of the regions where it's like I'm lost, and I'm like, okay, man, I got you, right? But what I mean is like there's just really no people. So this region is supposed to be the Sinnoh region in the past, right? So Gen
Right.
4.
Right.
So all the Diamond and Pearl cities, right? They're all like supposed to be in this region. And the town hub that you are in is Jubilife Village, which is obviously, going to eventually one day be Jubilife City again in the modern games,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
So it makes sense that like, oh, now it's a village, and eventually, it'll be this big ass town that you recognize from, Diamond and Pearl. But there are other cities in Diamond and Pearl. Like there's cities all over the region. So like, why is there only one village? Like, where are the other villages?
Oh, where
You
are
know
the
what I
other
mean?
village, like the connecting villages?
Yeah, I would
Where are
have
they even
loved
getting their
to.
food from? It's like they're getting their food from where they get it from, but
Yeah, so you can tell like where you. I mean, if you play Diamond and Pearl, especially, I mean, because I played the remix because they came out like a couple months ago, right?
right, right.
You can tell where you are in the map based on, for example, some landmarks that never change, like the lakes or the music, actually. So, for example, I remember I was in the area that would eventually become one of the forest areas
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
because I was like wandering through the area, and the music actually just changed, and it was like a little rearrangement of the music that plays when you're in the forest. And I'm like, oh, this is going to become that forest. That's pretty cool,
That's it.
actually.
That's actually pretty cool. Not gonna lie, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that is really cool. So like you can, and then like, oh, here's like this will eventually be like um one of these cities because you can tell like, oh, there's lots of ore here. This is going to be Orberg City probably, right, in the future.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But like, where's the
Where are the
settlers?
people?
Where's the settlers,
Where,
right? Because it's just so weird to me that like there's Jubilife Village. Where are the other villages?
I guess,
But
and I guess that kind of goes back to like this game when they announced it. It was what 6 months ago or something. It
when
wasn't
they
that.
announced it, oh, they announced it like a year ago.
Was it
not
a year
6 months.
ago?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It feels like it wasn't that long ago. But I
Yeah.
mean, like, it's kind of like maybe if they took another year to work on it, they could have, and maybe they didn't need to really, but maybe for the next game, that's going to be something that they added are multiple towns that you can kind of go through and add it onto the story. It's just more natural in that sense.
From like a gameplay standing, it's fine. It's a lot like Monster Hunter. You just have your hub village where you get all your quests and you set out and do them, right?
Right, right.
In terms of like gameplay, it's totally fine. Like whatever, that's fine. But for me to kind of be like, oh, this is the world that
A
I was
world.
just playing 2 months ago, right? Like
Right.
it'd be kind of nice to see a little more of that, right? But
Yeah.
I don't know. So when if they do another game in this style, which I hope they do, um, they have other regions to use, like just all the other Pokemon regions, just Kanto and Johto and Hoenn and like whatever. So
It's
I think
crazy
it'd be nice to
because
see them in the past as well.
hmm
But really, because I guess it'd be kind of crazy to see this kind of style, but like in modern times, like you're just in the city, I guess. But
dude, they could even do future. I don't think they want to do future, but that would. I mean, with this kind of game, though, like you said, kind of it's not a spin-off, but I don't know what it is completely. They could
yeah,
really go through a lot of different places in
yeah,
time
because
periods.
there's a lot
you
more
know?
legends to go through. I don't know if you've done this, but if you go to like a fan wiki like Bulbapedia and you type in
hmm
like history of the Pokemon world, like it's a big ass article,
Right.
there is so much lore and so much like olden time shit that they could tap to, like for story purposes. And like every region has its own like set of ruins that I would love to explore before they are ruined. So like in this game, like if you play Pokemon Diamond Pearl, there's like a bunch of ruins, like the temple at the top of Mount Coronet, like the big mountain, like it's in ruins actually by the time you get there.
Hmm.
In this game, it's still intact, and that's super cool. But in Johto Gold Silver, there was the burn tower. I'd love to see the burn tower before it became the burn tower.
The burn tower
Yeah.
before it was gone.
Yeah.
It was burned.
Um, And there's some other ruins in, Black and White had like gold castles and stuff, and I think there was ruins in X and Y. Like every game has like some stuff that it'd be nice to see. So
Yeah, and of course I know it wouldn't be a Pokemon game without new Pokemon
sure,
or like variations upon old Pokemon.
sure, yeah.
This one, I guess there are a good amount of are there a good amount of like brand new Pokemon per se, or is it more just kind of the ones maybe just kind of changed up a little bit in terms of
It's
like
it's more or less like the ones that are changed, or it's like evolution lines that have gone extinct.
that sounds sad.
Yeah.
That actually sounded sad.
So like your starter Pokemon actually, the first stage when you get them, and the second stage when you evolve them once is the same as But once you get to stage 3, the final evolution, it's different. Actually, those Pokemon don't normally look like that.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so I picked Cyndaquil as my starter, right? I like Cyndaquil. He's from Gold Silver,
He's
right?
nice. Cyndaquil's nice.
Yeah. So I picked Cyndaquil, my boy Cyndaquil, and then once I got him to his final evolution stage, I was like, "Who the fuck? Like, what is this?
He's no
What
longer a
the-"
big bear like looking. He's not a bear, but
He looks. I mean, similar to what he looked like. What he's supposed to look like, Typhlosion, right? But
Right,
he
right.
has purple flames instead of red flames, and he's a ghost type
Oh,
now.
what the heck? What?
And he's got a derpy face, and I hate it. But yeah,
And
like, all the Pokemon, they look different now. So
I guess one of the things, and before we kind of move off of this, is just like I remember them kind of saying like what they wanted is like the Pokemon to be, because like this is a time where Pokemon are wild, like they're free, like Pokemon are in charge, like you don't mess with the Pokemon.
They'll
You
kill
better know
you.
what you're doing. They will
This
kill
game
you.
is death. I died, by the way. I died. Like died.
The Pokemon killed you?
No, actually,
Oh, okay.
the game has fall damage, and
Oh, okay.
I walked off a cliff and died.
Okay. I was gonna be like a poke. Wow. Okay. Okay. That's a little bit more forgiving then.
No, the game. I mean, Pokemon will kill you. You can die via Pokemon, but
Okay. Never mind.
I've yet to die from a Pokemon, but I walked off a cliff and died.
Well,
But no,
came back.
you can absolutely die in this game, either from fall damage or from getting killed by Pokemon.
It's crazy, man. That's
Yeah.
crazy. So, I mean, it seems like this game is for everyone. If you're a fan of Pokemon, it feels like maybe this is a great game for you to continue into it, see what's different. And then if you're not into Pokemon, as in like you haven't been in for like 20 years, but it seems like it piques your interest, you have a
Yeah,
Switch.
yeah, absolutely.
Try
You know
it.
what? If you're like, oh, I used to play as a kid, but I don't know, like Sun and Moon X, Y, I don't know what this shit is. Like, just pick this one up. Like, it's so different. It's so different that you'll be like, okay, like I can totally get behind this. You know what I mean?
Yep. That's what I'm going to end up doing. I think I'm getting it next month. Well, I guess next month is pretty much tomorrow. So
Like tomorrow, yeah.
I'm
So you're
getting
it
it
tomorrow.
pretty.
Cool, yeah.
I'm getting it tomorrow. There we go. I'm getting it pretty
Yeah.
soon. So that's Pokemon Arceus. We're probably going to be talking about it next we've got to figure out Alex's thoughts at the very end of the game,
Yeah.
what he thinks, and maybe some of my thoughts, my initial thoughts of playing it, too. So that's going to be a Pokemon Arceus for us right now. And I don't really have anything else planned for the rest of this podcast, but I did want to say, like, it is the 25th anniversary of Final Fantasy VII today. I think this is
Wait, 25 years? Holy shit, dude.
yeah, the 131 January 31st, or it might have been the 30th, one of these 2 days. But that's something that happened when we're huge fans of the game here, and
Fuck, it is 25 years. God damn.
it's crazy. And the whole series itself has been 35 years this year.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, I didn't realize it was. It's crazy, man. Things are getting too far, man. They're getting too far. But that's really cool. And of course, we're looking forward to Remake Part 2 and some of the other wonderful. I think Ever Crisis.
Ever Crisis,
for
yeah, that's what I
mobile.
want to hear about, yeah.
That's going to be coming out, and I don't know about First Soldier. That's just there.
It's already out, dude.
I know it's out, but it's just there.
You haven't played it.
It's no, I haven't.
Did
I
they
heard it's not
announce
too
a
bad.
date for Ever Crisis or no?
They still haven't announced a date for Ever Crisis, so it's coming along. That's all we know.
So Ever Crisis, for anyone who doesn't remember, is supposed to be the other remake of FF7.
The more traditional one that
So
you all wanted.
if you got FF7 remake, and you're like, what is this action like battle? What is these story changes? This isn't my FF. I mean, then play Ever Crisis. Ever Crisis is your thing. That's just
Yeah. It literally is like, if you didn't like it, this is I mean, this is for you. Done.
Yeah.
Period. End of
It
story.
looks honestly, it's the same camera angles and everything. Like it's the same like kind of top downy kind of diorama look for
Right.
the PlayStation games, but it's just with redone graphics.
And yeah, I mean, I can't believe it. I can't believe. And this, to clarify, this was in Japan, January 31st, 1997, in Japan.
Yeah, it was a little
Um,
different for NA, right? What was North America like a year later, maybe? Or
Might have been a year later, or like a couple months, or like months later.
yeah,
I'll
the
have to look
PlayStation
that one
era
up.
was still I would say maybe the Wild West for translations, right? So
Very, very, very much so.
not as bad as like Super Famicom or whatever. Like because for like Final Fantasy, what is it? Final Fantasy 2 and 3 never came out in English. That's why FF4 was called 2 in North America at
And
first.
then was it like 1 and 2 are Legends or something? If I
Yeah, they got
remember.
re-released later, and then FF5 got skipped, and then FF6 became FF3.
And then they made FF6 into an anthology with 5 and 6, if I remember, on PlayStation.
With 6 was sold with yeah, 5 and 6. Yeah, 5 and 6.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
Yeah.
It was a whole. I was just like, what, where?
But they had to fix that later because like
They
in,
did, yeah.
in in North America it was like FF1, 2, 3, 7, and then people were like, well, what the fuck?
What happened to four,
We
5, 6? What happened? What happened to the rest of these things?
yeah. So we had to like
Um,
retroactively like release them, yeah.
and I guess like closing it out, we can do some shotgun. And which one do you want to hear about? Twitch rolling out some new ways to make money on Twitch. It's not new ways. It's more like more ads. The longer you stream, the more ads you play, the more money you can make.
I
It's
haven't
some
heard
weird
about that,
thing.
but that just makes sense. That just makes sense to me. The more ads you play, the more your CPM is, and therefore you get more money. But yeah, did they
There's
change something or?
for that it was let's bring up their ad incentive program really quick. Uh, the simple goal is to help you earn a more predictable monthly income through ads with no ceiling on earning potential. So the longer you
No
stream,
ceiling on,
there's
so they're just saying like run a shitload of ads. Like,
yeah. However long you want to run them, or however short, frequent you want to run them,
I just want to say to
there's no
anyone,
ceiling right now.
I just want to say to anyone listening or who watches me on Twitch, I have never purposely ran an ad before. So if you come into my stream and you watch an ad, that's because Twitch is just showing you an ad, and I'm not doing that at all.
I have mine set up to where it's one every hour for like 30 seconds, so that Twitch for at least 20 minutes
Won't do a pre-roll.
won't do a pre-roll for people
Yeah.
coming in. But I have like something in my, I have my chat bot say like, hey, ads are happening probably right
Go take a
now.
break or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Sorry for
actually
this.
they always say like to Twitch streamers, they're like, "Well, run it out when you go to the bathroom," and I'm like, "Okay,
I forgot.
I actually never go to the bathroom."
No,
when I
me neither. Dude, I used to forget
yeah,
every time I was streaming and I would take a break to play Stream Raiders or whatever. And that's like every 30 minutes. It's like I could have ran an ad. It slipped my mind. And then sometimes when I would do it, I would still forget like the next break, and it'd be like, you know what? Thanks for making this one, the current tool they have that at least automates it, and you can set when your ad will play and how long it will play. So I
the thing
thought
is,
that was
here's the
nice at
thing
least.
about this ad though, is where it's like, oh, you can make more money reliably. I want to say for 90% of Twitch streamers out there, so people like you and me,
It ain't gonna be that much money.
you're not
It's not gonna
making
make that much
you're not
money.
making
I'm I'm gonna
any.
tell you right now. You might you're making maybe 50 cents if you're lucky
Yeah, I'm
in the
telling you,
month.
man. They're like, there's no ceiling. Go run the ad. Like on for people like you and me, dude. Like this just doesn't mean anything to
It
me.
doesn't. And what I would say is like for anybody who is like, oh, I'm gonna do this more. I'm gonna stream longer hours, and I'm gonna make a little bit more extra. Like this is CPM, cost per
Bill.
million.
Well,
That
no, I think in
is
this
it.
case it's technically 1,000,
1,000.
not a million, but it's CPM stands for thousand in
Oh
this case, right? Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
M.
Well, get
But
yourself a
still,
1,000 people, and then you'll be a happy camper.
it's I mean
then
for
you'll,
honestly
then you'll be a
for
more of a happy
for streamers
camper.
like us, like that's a tough number. Like
That's a tough
that's a
number.
tough number to hit. Yeah.
That's a tough number to hit. So that's I don't know when that is actually rolling out. I think it's supposed to be hitting for partners and affiliates on their dashboard sometime soon. I don't know when. Soon. They
What's
didn't
the
really
last
say.
how? Actually, the only time I look at my own dashboard is to change my stream title.
That's when I typically look at it too.
Let me look at my dashboard right now.
I look at my dashboard. But honestly, when you anytime you go back into Twitch, I'm telling you, man, they always have something new in there. You're like, when did this tool get here? Like, what the heck?
The
is
last
this?
thing I think they added for it was like the ban evasion detection thing.
Yeah, it was that. And there was one other setting I saw, and I was like, okay, cool.
I have a shitload of emote slots actually that I'm not using.
You do have a lot, yeah.
I
There's
have a lot
like
of
15
emote
emote
slots, yeah.
slots now.
I have so many now, and I'm like, I need to
You
get
can either
more
make
emotes.
Yeah, it's nice that they at least gave everybody a good amount. Like for affiliates, I think it's 15 off the bat, 5 follower emotes, and then you have 5. Well, then
I
you have
have
10 for all
one
that or
follower.
something.
I have one emote for followers, and it's just one of the ones that like Twitch is like, here, have one of these free one
in the zip, yeah.
Yeah, my shit, whatever.
And then of course, EA announced that there's going to be 3 Star Wars games coming from Respawn. One of them, of course, being our favorite Fallen Order, a sequel to that. Another one going to be a strategy game, real-time strategy game.
Sounds wild, yeah.
And then there's another one that's going to be it's going to be another game.
By the way, did you pick up
a first-person shooter. There we go.
Oh, well, great. Did you pick up Demon? Sorry, not Deus. Demoness Mockman. Yeah.
Yeah, I did. I got it off the Epic Games. I need to play it after waiting for so long.
It's just like what is it? It's like
it's just Armored Core.
Armored Core, yeah.
It's just Armored Core, but not Armored Core, which is fine. That's what I wanted from it, actually. But yeah, that was pretty much it in the news that I caught. Yakuza homie, Toshiro Nogoshi. He's got his own studio. We already knew that was happening when he left, and he took 8 other people from the team. He took his homies. He took everybody.
It's basically just the Yakuza team now.
Yeah, he just took the Yakuza team and said he's going to form Nogoshi Studio. That's what it's called. Do you want to look at the logo? Here's the logo.
Man, your own name? That's like Kojima Productions swag right there, yeah.
There's the logo right there. I don't know what that logo. I'm just like, what is this logo? Yeah, I guess it's a logo.
That's a crazy logo. That's sure. I mean, it's fine. That's cool.
Yeah,
I feel like maybe you it looks like you got that from Fiverr, maybe, but.
If he got that from Fiverr, what if the person on Fiverr didn't know it was him, which was just like,
sure, yeah.
What do you think of this?
He's like, yeah, sure, it's fine.
Oh, man, maybe he's gonna be making films. Maybe that's actually it. They're gonna be making films, like actual Yakuza films.
I mean, they're really good stories, so yeah.
But yes, that happened, and that was pretty much it. That was it.
Sure, yeah.
That's the podcast, everybody.
That's the podcast. How long we've been streaming?
Not too long. About 40 minutes.
Sweet. Yeah, I got nothing, man. They announced Minato Aqua. She's a VTuber from the Hololive.
She's getting a game, isn't she?
They announced that she was gonna have her own game, which is cool.
Dude, I'm telling you, man, these VTubers, they're getting everything. They're hitting that heyday moment.
I do think, yeah, I do agree with you that I think this is probably, we're getting very, very close to the zenith of VTubing. As much as I enjoy VTubing myself, as much as I enjoy watching these streamers and stuff, we're probably approaching like saturation. You know what I mean?
There's too much. I would only say like there was a lot of them to begin with, but it was like, hey, you knew who to focus on if you wanted to, right? And it still is like that. You still, if you have your VTubers, you know, but now it's getting like to that idle point for real.
Yeah. I think so. You and I think we both remember what it was like in the heyday of, AKB, right?
When homie finally realized he could make more money off of more, just let it go.
Yeah, so AKB was, I was super into AKB when it was a thing, and I had my Oshis. I had a couple girls that I was super, a fan of, right?
Yeah, me too.
And then I think for me, when I started to lose interest is when he was like, you like AKB? What about SK? All right, SK is pretty cool. It was like, you like SK? What about NMB? I'm like, NMB is pretty cool too, I guess, right? And then after that, I'm like, what? How many of these groups are you doing? Like,
I call him the great, like no joke. I call him the greatest pimp of all time because he literally has hundreds of girls working, and it's like there's one thing to have like in the US or any other country, you have an agency that has like maybe 4 or 5 groups, right?
Yeah.
Maybe those boy bands or girl bands, maybe they're produced by the same person. I don't
Yeah.
think they have 4 or 5 of them, but this man has 10 plus.
But yeah, for me also, when he was just like, "Are you not into the 48 groups? I present Nogizaka 46."
Yo, that's my girls. Them Nogi's. Yo, Nogi.
Yeah, and
let's
he's
go.
just like, they're like the rival to AKB. I'm like,
Hey,
but
dude.
you're producing the group. It's
Yes,
still you.
yes,
It's
yes.
still you.
That's what I said. He is a genius. He literally made a group to rival his own group to fuel more sales of CDs.
Like,
and then, like, every one of these groups has at least like 48. They had 48 members and plus.
Yeah.
Nogizaka has, at first, they have like 20, right?
Yeah.
And then it's like, okay, now we have Gen 2, Gen 3. I think we're on like Gen 4 or 5 now. And so there's, like, if you add up all the members, this man for 2 groups alone has over 100 members in them. And we're not even talking about their sister groups, the SKEs, the NMBs, the Keyakizaka.
And then they did like JK, like Jakarta, like outside of Japan. They started doing like the groups for like other countries.
For other countries.
Oh my God.
Shanghai, they have,
Yes,
I think that's like SNH or something. Like, dude, it is insane. But VTubing is not at that point yet, but I know it's going to get there.
So that's for me when I was like, you know what? I kind of like, it was fun when it was like a couple girls. It was fun to see them on TV and do skits and sing music and stuff. That's when I was like, okay. But for me, VTubing is still, it's not there yet, but I feel like, because even if you just look at, so the 2 biggest groups in Japan are Hololive and I want to say Niji Sanji, right?
Right.
So between Hololive and between Niji Sanji, we're already looking at like a buttload of streamers. We're looking at a buttload of talent already. Like we're soon approaching, AKB 48 levels of people. So, and I already like for Hololive, like I already have a couple of my Oshis. I have some girls that I really enjoy. Like, oh, this girl's really fun. This one's super chill. This one is really good at games or whatever, right?
Right.
But every couple months, I think within last year, they introduced 3 new gens. And I'm not talking about just like Hololive English, which we're already at Gen 2 now of. Like, it was just like the Japanese branch. So it was Gen 5 and Gen 6, I think it's been a crazy year. I can't remember. But my point is,
you can't remember. That's the point, actually. That's
like,
actually getting to the point.
These more and more of these gens. And like, whenever I'm like, I like this one from this gen and this one from this gen, I'm good. And it's like Gen 6 bitches. And you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, it's almost like, who are these? No, it's not even like who are the VTubers or like the new group members. It's more like, you don't have that much time to dedicate, like, personally, like in your heart. You can't just give it away to everybody.
Yeah, so I've seen people on like the Hololive subreddit who they have like on like 3 monitors. They have like 10 streams open at the same time.
It's so hard to support them all because you will go broke. You will go for broke. You will end up broke.
Yeah, because if you're donating and stuff like that. Even if you're not donating, though, this is also, we were getting into a VTubing topic, but like this is also why clippers are so, I want to say like maybe a necessary evil for the community because you can't be awake for all these streams because especially if you're in North America, the streams are all in Japan, right?
Right.
And also maybe you don't know Japanese. You need someone to like translate the clips for you, right?
Exactly.
So this is why like clippers are so important to the community because like they'll clip moments of the stream that you miss, and then you could wake up in the morning and you're like, I saw this person's stream, but I couldn't watch this person's stream. What did I miss? And you can just kind of like go on YouTube and see some moments that you might have missed out on. But
yeah. So I mean, I think later on this year we definitely should do like a follow up on it, like that VTuber episode we did. That was a lot of fun. Maybe like in June or July, sometime in the summer, when it's just hype. But that's gonna do it for us this week. This is episode number 119. I did get my numbering messed up, so technically it's 118, but on YouTube it's 119. So I'm just going with the YouTube. I have no clue. There's a bonus episode somewhere that just threw me off.
Oh, you counted as an actual episode?
Yeah. So it's off somewhere, but we're just
we messed up. Messed up Final Fantasy style. Damn it. Yeah.
Oh man. Do you have anything you want to say in closing?
No, Arceus is fun. Just play it, man. If you're on the fence, if you're listening to this right now and you're even a little bit on the fence, just buy it because you'll be like, oh yeah, fine, it was a good game. There we go.
And then for me, I will say continue to support the podcast. Tell your friends and family or whoever you know who loves video games or maybe who likes fast food because, I did, the McDonald's, the friggin', I'm not going to go on this tangent. We'll talk about it after the podcast. I'll let you know about the McDonald's because I've had it like 3 times in 3 weeks.
It's more than it's more than me. It's more than me, dude.
It's
so
bad,
funny.
man. It's bad. I'm on it. But go ahead and look us up on YouTube. You can find us at Unknown Games Podcast. Subscribe to the channel. Look at the videos and leave a like on the videos. We got Pokemon Unite content going up. We've also got some streams for Portal 2 that have finished, but we're starting a new co-op game for next Sunday, so check those out. Those are live streamed. And follow us on Twitter at UGP_cast, and you can follow myself on
NinjaTrixta. All right, cool.
on Twitch at NinjaTrixta, and my co-host Root24 on. Darn it, I almost had it. You can follow Alex at Root24 on Twitch. That's right. The number 24.
Sweet.
There we go.
That's right.
Until next week, we will catch you all later. Remember, you set the tone. Go play some games. Have fun. Stay safe. And don't end up jumping.
Yeah.
Unless you're jumping rope.
What? Okay, goodbye.
We out.
Wow.